Hello and welcome back to Everquest. Today I would like to go over a few things you should know. If you're a returning player, if you're a new player, if you're a veteran, you may not know these. And if I don't mention something, or if I'm wrong, please comment below and let me know. Or if you have more questions, let me know below too. So first things first, race no longer matters anymore. You can pick whatever cosmetic race you prefer. You can be an ogre and you can start out with a frontal stun immunity, but you can also start with a dwarf or a gnome, and you can get it eventually because all tank classes, and I believe shamans and clerics and priest class, druids, also get stun immunity from physical attacks. Most stuns in the high level game are actually magic. So that is tip number one. All right, for tip number two, Overseer. Overseer can be accessed 85 plus just by typing the /overseer command. You'll get an interface like this. I've been doing it for a while, so I have lots of things. And when you complete things, you get rewards. So you go here, you collect. So you can get character experience. You can get a currency for buying transmog ornamentation things, or you can get mercenary experience. I'm currently on Gnome Regard. He is 66% into the level. So let's collect these and kind of see what how this is gonna go, right? So we get this one here. We're gonna get 0.65% of a level, so 66.9. So we're at 67. Go ahead and collect this one. So some of these will give you trade skill items. So if you are trying to make some conflagrant gear, you select the ring at scale for a week and you'll have enough gear to make, or enough material to make some gear. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So Torment of Velos is here too. So if you need trade skill materials, you can select those, or you can select the experience, which is this one will give us 0.7%. So and collect another trade skill one. This one's going to give us 0.7. Another trade skill one. This one's going to give us 1%. This one's going to give us 0.7. I think it's the one we failed to collect earlier. And here's another one, another trade skill one, but we're just going to go with the experience, which is another 0.7. Which, none of those seem to actually apply to the character. I think there's some lag going on. But you can go back and do the Overseer stuff, and you can select missions like this. So you want to pick a Harvester. I just usually pick whatever the first one is. I don't really care. As long as I get that final number over 75% is all I care about. 71. This one takes a lot of flavors. This guy, that's 76%. 82%. All right, we can kick that one off. And then you just repeat until you have your 5 done for the day, all queued up right over here, and you're good to go. That's Overseer. It's definitely something you should be doing. I think we would have got to like 73%. We'll find out whenever the lag or I relog, it'll probably fix. But yeah, that is the Overseer. All right, for the next tip, daily quests. If you're under level 90, you should be going to Franklin here and Clayton and grabbing their daily quests. So they have quests all the way up to 90 for the daily tasks, and these are the go kill 5 mobs in a zone, and you get a 20% of a level if it's around your level, and you get a item. Here, let's just click on this one. Oh, there we go. So the level 95 is going to give us extravagant armor, so hood, cloak, or belt, and it's going to give us some experience also, which is not listed here. So definitely do the the daily hot zone, and if you can, do the daily adventures every day. My next tip is the heroic journey. Now, or the hero's journey, I guess. If you're new, if it's your very first time playing, I recommend doing it. I've done it with No Regard here, fairly far. I've done 150 something videos on with No Regard doing the heroic journey plus other things, and I've had a blast. There's a lot of lore and a lot of zones that, if you're just trying to get to the end, you're not going to see. Zones I'd never heard of. There's just like all kinds of little different things you can go find and see. I definitely think it's worth it. There is a lot of content within this one achievement block, right? There is so much that you can do. And then there's like this one right here. I got this on I got this Trials of the Matamaram from the heroic boost I did. I did not realize I would get it, but it lets you go over the the resistance cap. So now I have 910 resistance, and I believe it's like 900 or something like that normally. I'd have to look at my Shadow Knight, but it's under that number, and I think it can go even higher with other rewards. So it's definitely something worth doing. I think doing all of the quests and all of the other advancement things are worth it. Where are they at? Like starting at, I think it's, let's just say Emperor's of Kunark. The progression quests here. Where's the meta one? There we go. Yeah, so here we go. Here's one of the meta ones. So doing all the champion and all the paragons for Empire of Kunark, you get these you get all these heroes resolution buffs, which let you go over the cap even more for different stats, which is very useful. And there's tons of those. If you go over to the special tab right here, you see there's 78 ranks of fortitude, resolution, 39 ranks of resolution, and 78 ranks of vitality, and those all come from progression-based achievements. And for this one here, you also get a golden rhinoceros, which I think would probably look pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely, if you're new, do the hero's journey. If you're returning and you last played in Plains of Power or something like that, I would probably just do it. If you're starting from level 1, do the tutorial, do everything, and do it. So definitely something I recommend. Next, I'd like to talk about epics. You can see here I have the Necromancer 2.0 epic, and some epics are good, some epics are not good. The Necromancer epic used to be like best in slot all the way to 115. Recently, in the last year or so, it got nerfed, and now it's only good to about 100. About level 70, you can start the 2.0 epic, and certain classes have better epics than others. The Shadow Knight one is good forever. The Bard one is good forever, and I believe the Shaman one. Those three are like the primary ones. If you have, if you're one of those classes, definitely do those epics. I still haven't done my Shadow Knights. I'm very lazy. So things like that, it's a really good one. The Rogue one I think is not that great. The Cleric one, the Cleric 1.0 is good until a certain point when you get the AA for rezzing. It just depends on your class, and it's something to definitely look into, especially if you're a Shadow Knight or a Shaman or a Bard. Those ones are the premier epic 2.0s. The Shadow Knight one gives you pretty much super life tap, I believe, and the Shaman one is like a critical damage buff, and the Bard one, I don't remember what it does because I don't have it yet. So and with the agents of change now, these are all fairly easy to get with instant stones and whatnot. Alright, so this next tip, I was trying to pull up all the things in game, but I was not able to find all all the items. So it's easier to show here on EQ Resource. This is a great website for things, but they have it all laid out here visually. So I wanted to mention that there's tiers of gear now. So for COV, the current expansion, there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. This is for group. Raid has its own tiers also, but you can see right here, let's pull up the Necromancer robe. 7,800 hit points. Tier 2, if we go to hit points on this one, is 8,400. And for the tier 3, which is crafted, it is a 9,100, almost 9,200. Probably once you aug it up, it's going to be 10,000. And so gear now, instead of having one item that drops with 100 hit points, there's tier, multiple tiers, and they're all different, right? So tier 1 is a tradable item, which tier 1 TOV is tradable. Tier 1 COV is not tradable. So the current expansion, tier 1 is not tradable, drops from names. So in your first tier 1 zones, Cobalt Scar, Western Waste, any of the names is going to drop Snow Squall armor, which is a container. You put an ore in there. The ore is vendor buyable, and a class emblem, and you'll get one of these items here, depending on your class and whatnot. The ore is about 20,000 each, give or take. The tier 2 drops from tier 2 zones, so Zendikar, TOV, things like that. You'll get the container, and then you can buy the ore also for about 20,000 platinum, and I think it requires one other item which costs 5,000 platinum plus an emblem, and those are buyable in Western Waste at the vendor there in the town, and these are no trade. And then tier 3 is crafted. The container is anyway. The ore is what you need to get for that one. And the ore for the crafted gear comes from all the bosses in the expansion. So any boss has a chance to drop the ore. The missions, I think, have a guaranteed chance to drop an ore. I seem to get one every single time I do Zendikar. So definitely how you'd want to gear up. So you'd probably want to start in Snow Squall if you can get it. And then work your way. I've skipped tier 2 on most of my characters and went straight to trade skill, but I spent like 10 million platinum trying to get Gnome Regards trade skills up to something viable to do all that. So it's definitely the new way to gear up for if you're used to the old way where there's only one set of gear. I think Planes of Power was like one of the first ones that kind of split it out, where there was like kind of a group gear with the Elemental and the I can't remember what the other one is. There was Elemental, and then there's the other one, Ornate, I think. So the Ornate was like the group gear, and Elemental was the raid gear kind of thing. But yeah, so that's just how you gear up now. All right, and my next tip, it kind of goes into the other one. Trade skills. Trade skills are, in my opinion, very important. There's an earring you can get from getting 350 in all the trade skills, plus an AUG that gives you 300 AC, and I think it's like 3,000 3,000 hit points, mana, and stamina, plus 300 to each stat. It's insane AUG from having all that, plus the trade skill earring from TOV. I think it ends up being like 10,000 hit points on your ear. And here is it. This is a boss dropped. It's I think a tier 1 boss of COV. This is their earring, so it's 6,900 plus whatever this AUG gives me, which is almost nothing, 70 hit points. So 10,000 as a baseline for the trade skill earring is pretty insane. So definitely trade skills are always going to be very valuable, and they're going to build on each other through all the expansions, from what I can tell. I don't know anything about the next expansions for the trade skill thing, but I'm assuming they're gonna have something. And for the next tip, I would say is you should at least duo box on live. You can have a mercenary. That's you know, it's all fine and good, but mercenary. So a mercenary is good until about 65 to 70. And then the Journeyman 5, I think it's Journeyman. No, it's Apprentice. Journeyman 1. Yeah, sorry. The Journeyman 1 will start to not be really good. And you can't get the Journeyman 5 until I think it's Journeyman 5. I'm totally forgetting here. Yeah, Journeyman 5. There we go. You can't get that until you can do the quest in either Corsica Warrens or in the House of Thule, which is about 85 to 75 to 85. So there's a gap in between there where the mercenary can't tank, the DPS isn't that great, and the healing's fine though. So if you're using it as a healer, it's fine. But I say you should duo. Box one character. I mean, if you're playing a melee class, box a shaman. If you're playing a necromancer, I have a bard that I've boxed with a few times, but I mostly solo necromancer. Let's see, tank classes, I would say do a shaman. Any other melee class, I mean, shaman's really like one of the best box classes. I'm actually gonna level up a paladin soon for tanking for Gnome Regard for some of the mission videos I want to do. But yeah, definitely I recommend boxing at least one character. You don't even have to pay for the character. It can be a free to play character, and it'll suffice more than a mercenary will in most cases. And my next tip is you should, if you're gonna go free to play, which I don't recommend, you should at least do one chrono at around level 105, I think it is, to get the auto grant AAs. That'll auto grant you, I think it's about 25,000 AAs depending on the class you're playing. And I highly recommend doing that. Your account, when you let the chrono expire, will turn into a silver account instead of a plain free to play account. So that's nice. You get, I think, an extra character slot, and you get a larger AA cap on characters. I think it's like 1,000 versus 200 for the free to play. And the next tip is the TLP servers can be better for grouping. Like if you want to do the classic Everquest experience where you're grouping with other players and stuff like that, I would say the TLP servers are going to be your best bet to get that. Fronavi might have, you know, an active lower level community. I don't know. People say it does, but I'm on Bristlebane, and it's there's not that many. Recently I've been seeing a lot more lower level people saying, you know, looking for group and stuff like that. So it could be on a surge. World of Warcraft is dying, so it could be on a surge. Some people coming back to the game. Another tip is the calendar. I can type in the window. There we go. The calendar is very useful for seeing upcoming events. So we can see right here, we're during the Knights of the Dead, and the bonus event right now is the Changes the Fall, which gives us additional experience. And you can kind of see this bonus experience lasts all the way until the 26th of October. And if we go ahead a month, we can see the night, what is it? Where is it? Where's the new Raid is the next event, which I don't know anything about, but it happens during November. And then you can see, if you go a little bit further, Frostfell starts on December 3rd, which is the Christmas event, which goes all the way until, I think, January something. Yeah, January 8th. And then the New Year event kind of goes off with that at the same time. And typically during national US holidays, they have experience bonuses and stuff like that. So right now we're in the fall bonus, which is an experience bonus. I don't think they will do a Christmas bonus for experience. They'll probably do a Thanksgiving one, but since the expansion is probably going to come out in December, at least the pre-order says it's going to come out sometime in December. I don't expect there to be an experience bonus since there's a level cap increase with 5 levels and a few thousand AAs. So I don't expect one until probably February or March, in all honesty. And another thing I recommend, another tip, is the buyer command. I don't know if I think I did a whole video on this thing, but kind of want to mention it again because I see a lot of people trying to buy things and complaining about not being able to get them. So the buyer command is pretty cool. So you can do like, say I want to buy bone chips. So I can just type in bone here and I can go, let's type bone chips then. There we go, bone chips. There's a million different kinds of bone chips. But we want these ones right here. So which ones are those? So we gotta kind of look at them. See if we can get the, there's a lag. I'm like trying to open up the inspect window on these things. But you can set the item here, right? So I want to pay 10 platinum per bone chip, right? And I want 999 of them, right? I can create a buy, and then I can go here and I can do a start barter. So if I go, am I in the blue hall? You have to go to the blue hall in the, so yeah, we're lagged. I can go in the blue hall right here, and I can go up to the trading stalls. So like a normal trader, you go to the trader and you can trade, but you can do here, you can do the buyer, and you can hit start buyer. Now I'm literally advertising to everybody else who's using the barter command. I'm gonna buy bone chips for 10 platinum each, and I want 1,000 of them. And people who search that through the barter. So here's the barter window. So we want bone chips, right? I got some bone chips. I want to sell them. No Magard is buying them for 10 platinum each. I can click here and sell. Free-to-play players can do this, and whatnot. And if you're, say you want to buy like all the restless stuff for crafting, right? Yeah, right here. You just go through, you set up all your buys, you know, what the value you want to set it at, and configure all that, and you wake up in the morning. I go offline. I have like a whole account dedicated doing this. You set it up, you go offline, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, let's see here. So let's look at restless something, right? There's so many restless things. Yeah, this restless ice slush. People are, you know, the lowest price looks like 50 platinum each, right? You can set a buyer for 10, and I bet you'll get some, and you can kind of save some money that way. So, you know, useful tip. Let's see here. Another tip, I'll link it in the description, is I set up a GitHub with a awesome Everquest thing, a list of all the different YouTubers, websites like EQ Resource, Alakazam, all those cool websites and stuff like that, and trying to make it kind of community driven, so anybody can submit a link to anything. I've added a few YouTubers that messaged me and asked to be added and stuff like that. So it's like a list, you know, different YouTubers have different styles. I know mine's probably not the what everybody likes, but you know, just, you know, trying to build more of a community list and stuff like that to kind of build that out. And that's I have a whole video on that resource stuff, so I'll link that. Another thing that you can do right now, that's only available during this beta period for the expansion. If you pre-order the Terror of Lucklin expansion, you get beta access. On the beta, you can buff the character to 120. You can try out different things. So if you're not sure what you want to be, what you want to play, you can do that and try it out and see, do I really want to be a necromancer? You go kill some things in the new expansion, or you can go to the old stuff and kill some old stuff and just, you know, see how you like it. Maybe you don't like an, you know, necromancer. Maybe you want to try a mage. You know, so that's something you can do. The test server lets you buff to 20, but the beta server lets you buff to 120 with all the stuff, and I think you get like 1,000,000 platinum or something like that. So you can do a lot of things to try out different things and kind of help test the expansion, because that's currently out for beta test right now. And my final thought is Druids suck. Druids suck. So that's all the tips I have right now. If I missed anything, please, you know, post a comment. I love interacting with everybody. I try to answer every comment I get on every video. If I'm wrong about something, please correct me, and I will definitely, you know, I will own up to that. I don't want inaccurate information out there. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.